What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm going to bring all of you, once again, another anime review on Kiznaiver Episode 5. So, the romance, or the OTPs, were really strong in this episode, like, extremely strong, and once again, this episode gives us some plot advancement, but also, once again, focuses on character interaction, which is one of the main things that this series has going for. One of the biggest things that Studio Trigger is doing well when it comes to Kiznaiver is the characters, and the characters are very interesting, and they have some great interactions between each other. So when it comes to that, Trigger is doing what they know best when it comes to this series, and that is giving us some really good character development, characterization, along with some comedy here and there, but also some plot advancement that kind of reveals more of what is really going on behind the scenes. So, the first things first I want to talk about is this image right here. Oh my god. This scene right here, Maki's scene with seeing Yuta freaking out, like finding out he's a virgin. Like, let me look at this picture real quick, okay? Maki, her personality, we know it's a little bit rotten. We've seen how she's acted, fine. But damn, this episode surprised me with Maki's character, and that moves her up into one of the best female characters of the series. I just was surprised to see the way she reacted in this episode. So, apparently she's having her own issues. We find out more about this mysterious girl that supposedly she was joking about that she killed, but most likely it was the truth. But she's joking around, she's hearing like all these different like voices in her head, which is from the girl, and she's, you know, acting a little bit strange in this episode. And then one thing leads to another where she has another encounter with Yuta, which is the person that got savagely burnt in last week's episode because, you know, you have to where Maki's like, hey, your opie was bigger than mine in grade school. So that right there destroyed him. But we get more interaction between these two characters with this episode, and I just can't help but ship these two characters together because of the way they acted. But one of the best things was how Maki was just kind of being something unexpected. The way she was pretty much saying, hey, I don't care, I just want to go all the way. You want to see my chest? I'll show you my chest. Let's go all the way, let's have sex. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And all of a sudden we found out that they were being recorded, and this picture I have up right now, it has a camera view, and we get to see at the top left. Many might have actually missed this. I might show this on the screen, it depends, but many might have missed this. If you look closely when the camera is recording, it's been recording for the past 1 minute and 27 seconds. That right there is funny on so many levels, because that lets us know that the person that was recording was watching for that long before even saying something or before getting caught. He was actually watching this all go down, which makes it even more embarrassing. But to make it even better, though, is just to see the way we found out that Yuta was actually a virgin. He's like getting all embarrassed and shit. I was laughing my ass off. So when it came to the comedy of this episode and the unexpected OTP between Yuta and Maki, I ship it. I ship it like FedEx. I ship that shit really fucking hard. So getting off of that, moving on to the next parts of this episode, we have it to where majority of the episode, besides focusing on Maki, we get actually a huge focus on Chidori and how she's kind of dealing with the issues of trying to express her feelings towards Katsuhira. And this right here is one of the main points that has been going on for the past couple episodes. For instance, as we know, Katsuhira, he really can't feel emotions, he doesn't really know how other people feel, and now he's finally starting to open up, and as it's already been hinted at, he was experimenting in the past, and that's what made him lose all of his feels and like feelings and emotions and shit. And now seeing how in this episode he was starting to understand, like he felt the heartache from Chidori, that really goes to show you that he's starting to understand what others think, or how they feel, and he doesn't like making them feel like they're hurting or upset. And this lets us know that there's going to be some plot advancement when it comes to the Kiznaivers and their feelings. For instance, we found out that apparently emotions can also be felt now through this project. Now, it could be because their heart was hurting and aching because of stress or whatever, but the main thing is the color was different, and we found out that we were entering into phase 2, so there is a possibility that our characters might start feeling each other's emotions, like if they're sad, if they're depressed, if, you know, they're happy, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. I could see something like that being added into the mix, which would be really cool if that is thrown in, because we already got an example of this. We're getting to see how some of our characters are feeling the heartache from Chidori, and how she was very gloomy and upset, because she wanted Katsuhira to be there, you know, kind of like her, or understand her feelings. We get to see that example. So, we got plot advancement, but good characterization for Chidori, which, I gotta say, Chidori, I still ship you with Tenga. I still ship you with him because I believe those two characters just work out so much better. But I noticed in this episode there was some jealousy, I think, building up. And I could be wrong about this, but since this was an episode focusing on character interactions and kind of setting up ships, you had to where we have our crazy girl, our girl that loves having the spotlight, Nico. She, at the dinner table, she took a brief glance at Tenga when he was talking about, Chidori and Katsuhiro's relationship and all that. You had to where Nico seemed to be staring at Tenga like something was off. And we don't really get to see much more of that throughout this episode. We don't get to see if she's angry, jealous, or whatever. But my first impressions of that is she's jealous. She's getting jealous. Or maybe since her character is kind of wanted the spotlight in a way, or to be talked about, or be different from others, maybe that right there is why. Maybe it goes along with her 7 deadly sins. Maybe that's what's going on here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.